Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the second part of the class on orthodontic diagnosis. Here we'll see the temporomandibular joint examination, which consists of checking for clicks, coordinated movement of both the condyles, and pain on tenderness. Coming to intraoral examination, you need to check for teeth, the oral hygiene status, tongue, gingiva, frenum, oral mucosa, and the tonsils. When examining the teeth, the first thing you need to do is chart the teeth. Write down the number of teeth present and write down each teeth by its number. Molar relationship, the periodontal status, any trauma or fracture, any prosthesis that may interfere with tooth movement, and individual tooth malocclusions. The shape of the arch may be three types: the V-shaped arch, the normal arch, and the U-shaped arch. When you check for the tongue, you check for the size, shape, and also if the patient has got a tongue tie. Because if the patient has got a tongue tie, it's going to interfere with the movement of teeth. Check for habits which a patient might have, which may interfere with the occlusion, like a tongue thrusting habit, thumb sucking habit, or mouth breathing habit. Also check for the adenoids and tonsils if they are inflamed, because that will alter the position of the tongue for the patient. Coming to functional examination, the first thing you need to see is for deviated path of closure. Ask the patient to keep the jaw at rest, bring it to initial contact. Now from initial contact to final contact, if you see the midline is actually shifting, then that patient has got a deviated path of closure. Check for posterior crossbites. There may be skeletal crossbite, or there may be habitual crossbites also. Check for the video of the patient, which I have already explained. Now coming to diagnostic aids. We have essential diagnostic aids like the cephalogram and OPG, which have to be taken for every patient. And also you have supplementary diagnostic aids like the handless radiograph and the frontal cephalogram. Models are taken so that we can do model analysis, and also it helps you to view the occlusion from various angles. Coming to classification of malocclusion, the common classification which we use in diagnosis is the angles classification, and you have angles class 1, class 2, and class 3 malocclusion. Now, diagnosis in mixed dentition takes into consideration the growth changes which happen in the jaws. The mandible tends to grow much more than the maxilla in mixed dentition in general. Now, class 1 in mixed dentition would turn into a class 3 when the child becomes adult. A class 2 in mixed dentition would become a class 1 when the child grows up. And if the child presents with a class 3 malocclusion, that's going to become a very severe class 3 when the child becomes an adult. Now coming to crowding correction in mixed dentition, the common procedure used is serial extraction. Now if you see a child with crowding in the upper and lower four anteriors, then you need to first extract the C's to allow space for the four anteriors to align themselves, followed by extraction of the D and accelerating the eruption of the fours. And finally, to create space for the canines to erupt, we extract the first premolars and allow the canine to come into position. Now this way, crowding can be corrected at the early stage itself without using fixed appliance. Thank you very much.